Hello everyone, welcome to another video series from Pixel Tidbits. Starting a brand new series on Subnautica. Got a brand new file here, just created. The aim of these videos is to basically show how to do various things in Subnautica. Only a few videos should ever contain story mode stuff. I will make spoiler warnings for those videos. Most of this I'm making because I've been playing for a while. I'm not great at it. I really enjoy the game. I know there's people who've taken a lot of in-depth research, and I'm grateful because I've learned from it. I'm sure a lot of you have. I wanted to make a series of guides that kind of cover how to use various things, like what do you get for the resources that are hard to find. Maybe it'll help you decide an order to build things, I don't know. Or how to make the most out of an investment. Say there's going to be some videos covering the vehicles like the Cyclops and stuff, you know, how far their batteries can go, things like that, so you can maybe really nerd out on it. I kind of like to do that a little bit. I'm leaving everything on except for resources. I'm going to use the dev commands for resources for these videos. I'm not going to be looking for them just for the sake of quickness and making them. I don't know where everything is in the game. I'm not that good at it. If you're interested in using the dev mode at all, it's L1 and R1 on the PS4 controllers. It should be similar buttons on other consoles. I'm not sure the PC controls. I'm leaving oxygen and health on, so other things like damage and battery usability and stuff is shown. Starting today, just from the beginning of a brand new profile inside the repair pod, or not the repair pod, the life pod, and you got to repair it when you start. Every time you pull out a tool like you see here, you get a little animation of sorts. You want to kind of be aware of that because underwater you lose oxygen, as you can see, and I've had some real startling days where you're just sitting there having a good time and all of a sudden, low oxygen. Oh no, okay, gotta breathe. Anyway, there is a code for no oxygen and things like that if you guys want to use it. It's on the dev menu. You can start here. Once you have a repair tool, you can repair the life pod, and that'll kind of allow you some basics in the beginning. It's the first tool I could think of to use. Then the fabricator is the primary resource where you're going to get most things. Batteries can be freely removed from tools, swapped between them. Early game, that's really helpful because it saves you from having to farm too many batteries until you get the battery charger. I will make a video also showing things about the length of how long batteries last and power cells for the vehicles. That way you can have a better understanding of maybe how far you can go before you need to recharge or where you need to build things in your game or however you want to, whatever you might need to know, hopefully. I don't know. Going through the menus here so that if anybody needs recipes or something, I know there's a wiki and stuff, but I thought maybe a quick little reference point in a video where you could just watch it through and see what you need or something, because I'm making this video just after the release of Below Zero, the second Subnautica for Nintendo Switch. Got that pretty recently. I noticed they put the pin feature in there that wasn't prevalent in this Subnautica, so got a lot of pieces of paper scattered around with recipes from many profiles. The more complicated items obviously take more intense recipes, but it's a pretty cool crafting system, to be honest. Makes you look around all the cool, really neat environments, all kinds of different places. Try not to say too much about the story, but there are different places you can go in the game just by exploring. Pretty early on, I know people are going to probably want to build a base, so I figured I'd start doing some stuff with the habitat builder. All of this, I'm pretty sure isn't unlocked right away. Like, I know bigger rooms, like the moon pool and the multi-purpose room, you have to find the fragments with the scanner. The scanner, interestingly enough, is one tool that doesn't seem to lose battery power when you use it. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or just the way it's meant to be. But anyway, that's a thing for you. Anyway, with the habitat builder, the fast build was on for that. That's why it's so quick. Shouldn't have been that fast. But with the habitat builder, you can build your bases. I didn't realize for the longest time that building these foundation tiles actually increased the strength of your base structures. So that's a little tidbit for you guys. It'll help. Yeah, they do cost more resources, but they're another way, aside from the reinforced panels, that you can add strength to your bases. Deeper water, they can suffer from depth penalties, things like that. Creatures can run into them. You can repair your bases to full with a repair tool if they get damaged. The water will pump out, even if they get full of water, as long as they have power and you repair their hull integrity to full. There's a comparison side by side for you of what happens when you build with and without foundation tiles. You'll get the interesting little struts or legs on certain sections. They can get really long. When you first build a base like this, there's not going to be any power, so you won't have any oxygen production in a base. That's very important. The earliest form of power is a power cell, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I don't know everything. Other people probably can get stuff quicker, but solar panels seem like the quickest way, but they obviously don't work without sunlight. But they do provide 75 units of power per panel. You can build them on top of bases. You can also build them close to bases. They don't have to be built directly on top. There is a short power transmission radius, and then there are ways to extend that. I'll showcase some things like that in a future video for a little more in-depth base building guide. I'm going to start a series here pretty soon, see if I can connect the two islands through building the base and see how that turns out. So that'll be an interesting journey. Glass windows like this will actually reduce the integrity of your base, but if you start a game in, say, creative mode or just want to have a cool looking base, you can compensate with foundation tiles and reinforcements. For just your average base, you'll probably just build static little tubules and things, but there are all manner of sections you can use. Like this 4-way shunt right here is a great intersection to just really add on in any way you want. Little 3-bys. This is a moon pool. You would have to find the what are they called? Fragments. You have to scan them with your scanner. If you need to ever deconstruct something like you see there, you just hit down on the D-pad. You'll reabsorb the building and get you resources back for it. A lot of the time it can be cumbersome to snap the bigger buildings to the structures like that, but once you do, it's in. They do take power. Once you dock a vehicle in the moon pool, which is its primary purpose, your base will act to try to recharge that vehicle's power system. If you don't have enough power, your base will run out of power, so that is something to consider. That really probably won't be a problem early game, because the power cells for like the sea moth and the prawn suit only have 200 power units, whereas the ion power cells have 1,000. But ion power cells are found a lot later. So anyhow, getting back to the base, because I get off track really easily, you can build some beautiful structures like this dome here and get some glorious undersea views. I mean, this game has so much going for it with the visuals and the different biomes. I like to build a little sitting area sometimes and just plop down and look around, listen to the sounds of just stuff going on. You can see random events from time to time, creature interactions. But in short order, as you can see here, you can get a pretty decent base up and running. A lot of room inside. If you want to go even more in depth, you can put signs like this to label rooms, passageways, directions, what have you. You can change the backgrounds, the fonts, the size, the actual location of the sign within a little, and the size of it. You can put multiple signs on top of each other. They can even hang from the ceiling, look like little virtual displays. Pretty much whatever you want to do. It's pretty free form. You can add fabricators to the walls. Also, these bulkhead doors will increase your hull strength from the inside, and they have a really fun opening and closing mechanism. So that's pretty neat. Also, if they're closed and your base gets damaged, only that section will get flooded as long as the door stays shut. Like if you, say, had a section flooded with just the moon pool, you could repair it and it would drain out, but the rest of your base wouldn't get flooded. The circular multi-purpose rooms you see here can actually be stacked. I've never seen it stacked to a way that it can't. Like, I don't know that there's a limit. The ladders are really funny. You basically shoot straight up them. They do have to be made aligned. There can't be, like, if you came up to the second floor and build something over one of the black squares in the back, you couldn't put a ladder underneath that square. The game wouldn't allow it. But you can build a bed. You can build basically whatever you want inside these multi-purpose rooms. That's what they're for. Desks, chairs, upgrade stations, fabricators, medical stuff. I like to put a nuclear reactor just because it's the biggest room. You can put the water purifiers, storage lockers. These rooms can support a lot of storage lockers, and each locker can support a pretty sizable inventory. You can also label storage lockers. Not sure if it's hard to click on, but it's there. When you plunk down like a nuclear reactor, it takes up most of the room, but it also kind of fits because the room's circular and it kind of like, it seems like it goes there. If you want to get a nuclear reactor up and running, you need the parts, you need to build the reactor, and then you need at least one fuel rod. It takes 4 of them to reach full capacity, so it's a pretty resource intensive thing, but as you can see here, it's definitely worth it because you won't have power problems once it's fully charged. You can augment any power source with solar as long as you can reach it. You can also use geothermal energy, but that's only in deeper areas that are closer to the seabed where there's more active fissures and volcanoes and things like that. So it's harder to utilize that. I would like to believe it's also possible to connect multiple bases power grids. Thinking of trying that in the future and maybe making some videos, see how that goes. The game will tell you when you build these glass open ways like that curve back there that it detracts from the base integrity and stuff. It's kind of funny. You can compensate with reinforcement tiles. I know I said that already, but it says it a lot. And that big bulbous structure you just see me add there is the scanner room. It's one of the most useful base utilities in the game. I'm going to do a separate video covering its full functionality. But once you have this up and running, resource gathering is a lot easier. You can also find the scanner room by scanning various fragments on the seabed. There are guides for that available online. This is the vehicle upgrade station here in the moon pool. It can only be built in a moon pool. It's critical to modifying vehicles once you dock them in the moon pool. The Cyclops has its own vehicle docking system, which has this console, but it's the Cyclops variation, which has different features. I'm going to cover that more in depth in a Cyclops video. Those are power cell chargers and battery chargers there. They will take from your base's power, but they will recharge those resource heavy items. Got more to come in future videos. See y'all in the next one.